welcome you to Toronto and the Rogers Center, where the roof is open for Game 1 of a 4-game series between the Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox fresh off a sweep of the Kansas City Royals, winning 7 of their last 8 games. And our Chevy key player to watch is Daniel Nabu, who had a great weekend.
Well, he's really turned things around for the Red Sox. And over the last 5 games, he's been absolutely outstanding for Boston. As we look at the graphic, 471 in a 5-game hitting streak, a couple of doubles, 4 RBIs, 6 runs scored. He's hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games. And he's really turned the season around. Remember the beginning of the year, the Red Sox are really counting on him in a platoon situation with Johnny Gomes. But then he had to go back to the minor leagues, get his act together. He cut down on his swing a little bit. He's back up now producing like he did a year ago. So that confidence is back for him, and it's so important to have that bat in the middle of the lineup for the Red Sox now, providing some offense for him, and Daniel Nabu is doing that.
Well, a tough stretch coming up here for the Red Sox. Really begins tonight in Toronto. On the mound for the Red Sox is John Lackey, trying to be the leader in wins for the Red Sox on the season. He's looking for his 11th victory of the year. He's 10-6 with a 3.79 earned run average. Red Sox try to take the Blue Jays tonight north of the border. We're back with the first pitch right after this. Your Kia dealers of New England. Dunkin' Donuts. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. PaulRadine.com, celebrity golf instruction, and much more. And by your New England Subaru dealers. Welcome back inside the Rogers Center in Toronto as the Red Sox get ready to take on the Blue Jays, the first of 4 here in Toronto. The roof is open, and really the beginning of a very important stretch coming up for the Red Sox. We mentioned it's already an important stretch, but coming up here, a lot of the American League East. Starts with the Blue Jays. Of course, they're tied for second in the AL East as we start this series, and the Red Sox are just 2-4 against the Jays so far this season. 4-5 against Tampa Bay. Will be there next Friday through Sunday as part of this 7-game road trip. 3 spent in St. Pete, and then the Yankees will be in August 1st through the 3rd. The Red Sox also with a losing record against New York, 4-6. With more, we send it down to field level, and Gary Ostrowski. Gary?
Dio, thanks to a weekend sweep of the Royals, 4 in a row now for the Red Sox and winning 7 of the last 8. They've started to close that gap in the American League East, still 7.5 games back of first place Baltimore. But guys, the next 13 pivotal games, all against American League East opponents, as John Farrell explains in our Geico quote of the day.
Equally important as the last 13. I think right now we've gained a little momentum as we went into the All-Star break, came out of it playing well, playing with some confidence. But when you look at the 13 games upcoming, there are teams that are ahead of us in the standings, and I think if we go about our business as we've done recently here, we should be in a pretty good place.
Don, you mentioned the Sox are only 2-4 against the Blue Jays. Fortunately for the Red Sox, those 2 wins came back in April when they took 2 out of 3 right here at the Rogers Center. So they like playing here. They score a lot of runs here. And fortunately for the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, they've kind of hit a skid, dropped 9 of their last 13.
All right, Gary, thanks very much. Yeah, the Blue Jays running into some injury trouble lately as we take a look at the American League East as the way it sets up tonight heading into this 4-game series. The Red Sox are 7.5 games back, and, of course, the Red Sox winning 4 straight games coming in. The Rays have won 5 straight games heading into their action, and you get the Orioles on top of the division by 3 over New York and Toronto. So the Red Sox and Blue Jays ready for baseball tonight from Toronto as the Red Sox coming up here to begin this 7-game road trip as the Blue Jays take the field tonight at Rogers Center. As they do, let's check out the Red Sox starting 9 tonight. And we find out where Brock Holt is playing on a nightly basis. Tonight, it is right field as he leads it off with Dustin Pedroia at second base, batting second. David Ortiz, the DH. Great numbers here at the Rogers Center for David. Mike Napoli is back in there after having yesterday off. He's at first base. Daniel Nava, big weekend. He's in left. Stephen Drew is at shortstop, moving up the order. And batting sixth with Xander Bogaerts at third base. Jackie Bradley Jr. bats eighth. And it's Christian Vasquez who does the catching, and he bats ninth. Well, tonight's Blue Jays starting pitcher presented by your New England Nissan dealers. Drew Hutchison on the mound for his 20th start of the year. 6-8 with a 4.16 earned run average. 100 strikeouts to 38 walks, and opponents hitting at 251 against Hutchison. In his career against the Red Sox, some very good numbers. 2-0 with a 1.42 earned run average. A 220 Red Sox average against Hutchison.
Now the defense tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays, they are 6th in the American League with 51 errors in 99 games. Juan Francisco will be at third base. Jose Reyes, the shortstop. Kawasaki at second, and Dan Johnson, the first baseman. Left to right, Melky Cabrera, Colby Rasmus, and Anthony Gose, and Eric Kratz doing the catching for Hutchinson.
Well, the umpires tonight, the crew chief, Larry Van Ober, has the play calling the balls and strikes with Paul Noward at first base. Gabe Morales at second base, and Angel Hernandez, the veteran umpire, is at third base. We do have weather conditions here tonight because the roof is open at the Rogers Center. What was just a beautiful day today in Toronto. 79 degrees to get it started. The wind speed at 6 miles per hour, and the forecast for more of the same the rest of the night. And this place is very nice when the roof is open, and the Red Sox and Blue Jays ready to go here in Game 1. Brock Holt to lead it off. At 326 with 3 homers and 22 runs batted in. Holt was 4 for 13 in the series against Kansas City and had a pair of hits yesterday, going 2 for 5 in the series finale. First pitch of the ball game is in there for strike one, and we're underway.
We were talking about Hutchinson, and one of the things he did this year is beat the Red Sox in the one game he faced them. Went 5 2/3, gave up 6 hits and only 1 run against the Red Sox.
Holt sprays it foul and is down 0-2. The last 10 days, Brock Holt on top, highest batting average of 500. Drew Hutchison, a guy who had Tommy John surgery, spent all of 2013 recovering. As he raises the ladder there, 94 miles an hour, and he strikes out Brock Holt.
He has that kind of ability. He had 4 strikeouts in that first game he pitched against the Red Sox. This time he goes up and away with that 2-seam fastball away from Brock Holt.
So a strikeout of Holt to get it started tonight, and here is Dustin Pedroia. Swings and fouls it off to the right. Red Sox starting this game pretty aggressive in their approach against Hutchison. Pedroia just 1 for 12 during the homestand. Yeah, Pedroia's numbers to Ortiz. They were 2 for 25 together for the 3-game series against Kansas City. You probably think that based on that the Red Sox didn't do well. Actually, they did very well, sweeping all 3 games, but Pedroia and Ortiz very quiet in the series.
Yeah, Pedroia 1 for 12, as you mentioned. Ortiz 1 for 13.
There's a pop-up in the infield left side. Francisco, the third baseman, will give way to Reyes. He makes the catch, 2 down. The summer is in full swing, and so are specially priced Red Sox tickets for students. Student tickets are available for every Sox game. Tickets start at just $9. So go to redsox.com/student to take advantage of this great offer today. Well, Jerry, we saw a sight today I'm not sure I've seen in a really long time. David Ortiz took early batting practice today. Alone, really, here at the ballpark for a long time.
Yeah, that's something he normally does not do, take early batting practice in the afternoon. But he's been in a slump, 249, as you can see. And out here trying to get some extra work quietly this afternoon.
Takes strike one. 94 on the fastball from Hutchison. Mentioned David 1 for 13 in the series against Kansas City. He is 0 for his last 9. Hitting at .237 against right-handed pitching on the year. Laces it foul. And the ball attendant running out of the way there in a hot shot.
Well, we've been talking how important this trip is for the Red Sox, and it's kind of nice to talk about an important road trip. The way things have gone all season long, and the Red Sox certainly have stepped it up over the last week and a half, and playing much better baseball, and it gives us some hope going into this extended road trip to 7 days.
Swing and a miss. Ortiz strikes out of their high fastball from Hutchison. Sox down in order. Blue Jays are coming up. Back in Toronto on a beautiful day. Fans making their way in still here as we head into the bottom of the first inning, as Red Sox down in order in the top of the first. And the Blue Jays coming to bat. Jose Reyes about to lead it off here for the Jays. You will take strike one. Tonight's Red Sox starting pitcher is presented by your New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new 2015 Audi A3 today. 20th start for Lackey is slapped out there by Reyes, foul. Lackey trying to become the first Red Sox pitcher to win 11 games on the year. And his numbers against Toronto, 5 and 8. Well, he's only made 2 starts against Toronto in the last 2 years, and this is his first start of this year against the Jays. There's a fly ball to shallow right center. Incoming is Holt, but Brock will get there for the first out. Let's check out the Toronto Blue Jays starting 9. We just saw Jose Reyes starting at shortstop. We've got some pretty serious injury problems. Munori Kawasaki bats second at second base. Melky Cabrera is in left field. Jose Bautista is the DH with Kobe Rasmus in center field. Dan Johnson now at first base with Adam Lind on the DL with a broken bone in his foot. Eric Kratz does the catching, batting seventh. Juan Francisco at third and Anthony Gose in right. A two-hopper down to Napoli at first. 2 down. Edwin Encarnacion, the biggest omission perhaps in this lineup, especially when you're talking about protection for Jose Bautista.
Yeah, Encarnacion, Adam Lind, Brett Laurie, all out of the lineup. All guys who are having very good years for the Toronto Blue Jays, and that's why right now it's a good time to be playing these guys. They don't have all their weapons.
They're trying to weather the storm as Melky Cabrera checks in with 2 outs and the base is empty. 307 average. And he will take strike one. Tonight's key matchup is brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Melky Cabrera currently running a 9-game hitting streak against Boston. And some pretty impressive numbers along the way. A 342 average during the 9-gamer. 4 doubles, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs. In the dirt for ball 1 and 2.
That's John Lackey, a winner last time out at Houston, going 6 innings in that game, giving up 2 earned runs. It's 11 career seasons with 10+ wins.
This one fouled back to the screen. Still 1 and 2. And one of the scarier scenes we've seen in a while was the last time we saw Lackey pitch in Toronto was that first start that he came back after the Tommy John surgery, and he walked off the mound here. We thought he may be done for the year, but ended up being a bicep strain, and he after the scary moment he was certainly scared himself.
Yeah, remember that very well. Thought he blew his arm out again. Had a chance to see him in the hotel lobby though about an hour and a half after the game, and he said no, it's not the elbow, it's just a strain. So that was good news.
2-2 the other way to left, but right to Nava. A 1-2-3 first for Lackey through 1 from Toronto without a score. First, and Mike Napoli to lead it off for Boston. We'll see Napoli, Nava, and Drew. The bat in the inning as Napoli takes strike 1. Hutchison enjoyed a 1-2-3 first inning with 2 strikeouts. Napoli returning to the Red Sox order. 274 average. 11 homers and 35 runs batted in. Had yesterday off and still 4 for 7 in the series against Kansas City. Just launched a go-ahead solo home run in the 6th inning on Saturday night against Kansas City. Hutchison wanted it. It is ball 2, 2-1.
Yeah, tried to change up that time and just barely missed the inside corner with it.
Napoli drives this out towards deep right center field. Back goes Rasmus, and that ball is going to be off the wall. Rasmus plays the carom, and into second, sliding goes Napoli with a double off the wall in right center field.
Now, so far in this game, Hutchinson has been trying to live upstairs with his fastball, and it worked in the first inning. He got a couple of strikeouts on it. Another high fastball that time to Napoli, but out over the plate, and he almost was out of the ballpark. Kobe Rasmus tracks it down, but it's going to be off the wall, and Napoli in the second base with the leadoff double here in the second inning.
So Napoli into scoring position to start the second. Here is Daniel Nava. 246, 2 homers, and 13 runs driven in. Kind of gets jammed and flips it out to shallow center. Rasmus now backs off it and plays it on a hop. Napoli had to wait and now takes off the third. A bobble out in center field, but Nava will go back to the bag at first as Rasmus dropped it out there. It looked like he was going to come on to catch it. He's got good speed. Then all of a sudden he decided to back off and it drops in.
Yeah, I think that's what fooled Mike Napoli too at second base, because when the ball, when contact was made, it was very difficult to tell whether that ball was going to be caught, charged by Rasmus, or he's going to back off. And he decides at the last minute to back off. By that time, Napoli can only make it to third base.
So first and third, nobody out, and Stephen Drew coming up.
You see that a lot on the artificial surface where outfielders will come in, and instead of trying to charge the ball the whole way, they'll back off so it doesn't bounce over their head.
And this is a surface that is very bouncy. It is hard here now as it is kind of settled in here at the Rogers Center. Multi-purpose facility as well. The turf in and out, and most of the complaints consist around the seams here, and there's some large seams. Especially look at the infield around the mound area even. There are some seams, and certainly can affect ground balls, and they're all over the place as they lay this turf down. Now Drew moving up in the order, batting 6th. In the air, foul off to the left, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, think back about this ballpark since it's opened, and it's never really had a good surface time. It's the first one they had, it was cement hard. It was really hard. Then they changed over to this new field turf, but as you mentioned, it hasn't really settled in well with all those seams that you see. Of course, they do so much up here in this ballpark, as you mentioned, taking up the turf, putting it back in.
Well, the CFL started here 2 weeks ago, and you can see the lines also throughout the infield, the way they run the football field here in Toronto. 2-1 pitch is in there for strike 2, 2-2.
Now fastball, breaking ball, changeup from Hutchinson. That's the fastball right down the middle of the plate to Drew.
Napoli at third, Nava at first. And a 2-2 pitch coming to Stephen Drew. Line to right field. Ghost will play it on a hop. In from third comes Napoli. And the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. An RBI single for Stephen Drew. And it's 1-0 Boston. 3 straight hits for the Red Sox here in the second inning.
Double, single, single. And this last single drives in a run. Drew picks up his 6th RBI of the season. Fastball was supposed to be away. It stayed inside. And Drew able to clean it out and drop it in front of Anthony Ghost for the base hit. You can see the catch is set up away. They wanted the fastball away, but a mislocation. And Drew makes him pay for it.
2 on, nobody out, a run in, and Xander Bogaerts back in there for Boston. As Bogaerts will take ball 1, a little bit low. Xander did not play yesterday. His 7th home run of the year on Saturday night against Kansas City. It's his first home run since June the 13th. It had snapped a career-long 89 at bat homerless stretch. Takes the strike, and the count evens at 1-1. Line and caught at third by Francisco. He won't throw it anywhere. It's back to the bag at second when Novick took a look, but no chance to get him. Bogaerts out number 1 of the inning.
Good solid hard contact there by Bogaerts, but Juan Francisco playing very close to the line and able to go across his body to take extra bases away from Bogaerts. One crossover step, that ball would have been a fair ball rolling down into the corner had Francisco not been that close to the line.
One down, first and second, and Jackie Bradley Jr. will take a ball. 231 with a home run and 26 runs batted in. There's 2 for 3 yesterday, scoring twice. Now it's hit safely in 10 of his last 12 games. Hutchison had a very good first inning, 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts, but different results here for him in the second inning. Bradley will take the strike. .389 since July the 5th for Jackie Bradley Jr. Two and two. Well, there's still 63 games left in the 2014 Red Sox season. Make sure you never miss another by downloading the schedule into your desktop or mobile devices. Visit NESN.com/schedule now. Red Sox opening up this 7-game road trip, 4 here in Toronto, 3 in St. Petersburg against Tampa Bay. As Bradley Jr. fouls it off and remains 2-2.
Don, we're talking about Bradley Jr. in view from the booth today prior to the game, and the fact that he's got his average up to 231, which is not going to light everybody's eyes up, but the fact is, you know, for most of the year he was hovering around 200, so he's picked it up quite a bit. And you know, from a personal point of view, he finished 250, 260. That's quite a comeback.
On the ground at first base, Dan Johnson will go to second base for the out there. Middleman retired. On the force out of Drew at second base. First and third now as we check back in with Gary.
Guys, the new Scion TC poll with tonight's poll question: which will be the next Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup? Sox 1, the Montreal Canadiens. Sox 2, the Ottawa Senators. Sox 3, the hometown team here, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Or Sox 4, the Vancouver Canucks. Text your answer to 536. Those messages and data rates, those may apply. Text help if you need it. Visit NESN.com/terms for all that fun legal stuff, guys.
All right, Gary, thanks very much. Keep an eye on that as the Maple Leafs just try to get back to the playoffs again. As Christian Vasquez coming up here with runners at first and third. Vasquez getting the start tonight. Battery made of John Lackey.
Those signals put out there by the catcher. He wants the infield to know if he's going to throw through if Bradley goes.
Bradley with a good sized lead at first. 1 foot on the carpet as Vasquez fouls it back. .385 so far for Vasquez. The 2 multi-hit games in the Houston series right before the All-Star break. Back to Bradley heading off for second base. Will steal second. They throw down there, but Bradley with a good jump and steals second base.
Yeah, that was no contest at all. You know, you can get a very good jump off Hutchinson. He's very slow to home plate, and Kratz from his knees trying to throw Bradley out at second base. He really had no chance at all. Kawasaki coming in and make sure that runner at third does not try to score.
The spot here for Vasquez, second and third, 2 down. He is down 0-2. There's a foul off to the right out of play.
And Hutchinson again tries to elevate that fastball with 2 strikes on a hitter.
Nava at third, Bradley at second. 2 down in the second, a run in. Bouncing in, and it is blocked, knocked down.
What a nice job by Eric Kratz to catch it here, saving a run. That ball coming back up and hitting him in the left shoulder, and just bounces right in front of home plate.
Again, the 1-2 pitch. Left there by Kratz as Vasquez taking ball 2. th start of the year for Hutchinson, giving up a run so far here in the second, trying to minimize the damage. Bouncing in again, and Kratz blocking it again. Full count now.
Once again, down on the breaking ball, expecting that ball to be down in the dirt, and you can see him covering up the 5-hole with the glove. He's not trying to catch the baseball, just block it.
Like he has a 1-0 lead, he'd like more. Another bat here for Christian Vasquez. Full count now. Vasquez chops it off the plate. Hutchinson, bare hands, drops it, run scores. Vasquez a reach at first base. He was the only one with a chance. It's an infield hit. Vasquez picks up an RBI, and the Red Sox lead it 2-0.
Now just topped down that third base line, and Hutchinson did all he possibly could do to get to the ball. Bare hands it. It falls out as he goes to make the throw. I don't think there's any chance he gets Vasquez at first base anyway. And the Red Sox pick up a run with 2 outs.
Now Pete Walker, the pitching coach, out there to talk to Hutchinson here. 2 runs in the inning. First and third, and coming up is Brock Holt as Larry Vanover goes out to break it up. And just as he started out, Pete Walker broke up the conversation. Now, second time through now for the Red Sox against Hutchinson. As Holt, a strikeout victim in the first inning, he went swinging. A high strike call for strike 1. Will take it away, and it is 1-1. Hutchinson having to throw 28 pitches so far here in the second inning after just 10 in the first. Works with Bradley at third, Vasquez at first, 2 down. Holt, leading hitter with runners in scoring position at 320 for Boston. Ball 2.
A couple of change-ups from Hutchinson, missing both times away from Holt. So we started him with the fastball for a strike high, and then 2 low change-ups.
Out ahead of this, fouling it off, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes to Brock Holt, 2 down, 2 runs in. Holt will line it foul.
That time he comes inside with 2 strikes. Last time he went up and away to get the strikeout against Holt. Holt maybe thinking that it knows areas right there, and that time he comes inside with the fastball, and Holt's able to pull it foul.
Outfield straight away here on Holt. Here's a 2-2. It's in the dirt. Another good block by Kratz again, and it's a full count.
He's been a little busy back there this inning, Don.
All over the place and has saved a few runs. Payoff pitch. Holt will line it foul, and the at-bat continues for Brock Holt. Action already in the Blue Jays bullpen. Brett Mills, who we saw with the Oakland A's, picked up by the Toronto Blue Jays. Red Sox having to deal with Mills in Oakland as part of the West Coast trip. This is line foul again.
Well, he's tried everything. Fastballs inside, change-ups down and away, a slider, and Holt continues to foul off pitches. Last pitch right here, a change-up down and in, and Holt able to foul it off. Might go back to that high fastball up and away.
This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat, the 35th pitch of the inning for Drew Hutchinson. Holt hits a fly ball to right field as Anthony Gose heads over towards the line. Is under it, and he'll put it away to end the inning. For the Red Sox, grab a pair of runs, take a 2-0 lead after an inning and a half. Ferguson, but he gets out of it, giving up only the 2 runs as it turns out. Ends up throwing 35 pitches in the inning. But Lackey now has a 2-0 advantage as he takes the hill here for the bottom of the second inning. Bautista, Rasmus, and Johnson to bat for the Jays. Bautista been battling a hamstring problem and DHing as a result, not playing defensively.
Blue Jays and Orioles tied for the most home runs in the American League. That's even without Encarnacion in the lineup right now.
And there for a strike hand, it's 2-1. And you get Bautista, 408 on base percentage. As he drives one out towards center field, struck well, but Bradley Jr. has plenty of room out there in center, puts it away. 1 down here in the bottom of the second inning. Well, tonight's view, Jerry, coming into the Rogers Center from outside. You actually come from across the street when you come into the building. As you make your way down here underneath the bowels of the Rogers Center, which is directly across the street, kind of swing around here down into the under area, the garage area where our TV trucks are when you come in here to the Rogers Center. It's a little different view. This is how the team comes in on a daily basis. This is with a shift on. Napoli plays the hop and he runs to the bag, tags it, out of Rasmus for the second out. Well, fans, you can test your Red Sox IQ right now with the MLB Free-Play mobile app. Download for free and start predicting every at-bat of every Red Sox game all season. Now hold your hat here, Jerry. This is not a quality start.
What a surprise this is.
Free-Play predicts that John Lackey will go 6 innings and allow 4 earned runs. 8 hits, 2 walks, and strikeout 4. That is not a quality start.
No, that might be the first one all season long.
So 2 down here in the second. And 5 in a row retired by Lackey. Dan Johnson takes strike 1. I'm still waiting for that one that's 2/3 of an inning, 9 runs.
8 walks.
Yeah. He'll drop in there for strike 2. John Lackey beating Houston last time out, 6 innings, 2 runs. His 11th career season, 10 or more wins. He comes into tonight at 10-6. And 2 pitches popped up. Shift on here, and it is Drew coming from the right side as part of the shift to make the catch that ends the inning. We're through 2-0 Boston. Toronto Red Sox have a 2-0 advantage. Hutchison back on the hill again for the Jays here into the third. Pedroia, Ortiz, and Napoli, 2, 3, and 4 featured in the inning. Pedroia popping out to the shortstop Jose Reyes in the first inning. Now pops one up back at first into foul ground. Dan Johnson now give way to the second baseman, Kawasaki. If you haven't heard, NESN has been celebrating 30 years in the business. Visit NESN.com/NESN30 to look back at the most memorable moments in the past 30 years on NESN. One down here in the third inning for David Ortiz. As Kawasaki made the catch, now goes into the shift here on the right side on Big Papi, and Kawasaki in short right field as part of this shift. Ortiz takes strike one. '99th game of the year for Boston, and the first of this 7-game road trip. There's strike two. A little bit higher that time, and a fastball. 0-2.
A breaking ball followed by a fastball, both strikes, and very quickly David down. Oh, no balls and 2 strikes.
Ortiz jolts it to center field. Rasmus has room and makes the catch shy of the track out there in center. 2 down. Let's set it down to Gary.
Guys, so Mike Napoli, he's played a little catcher before, obviously first base, and if he played football, apparently he would be a blindside offensive tackler, at least this according to Johnny Gomes, who says he doesn't get enough credit batting where he bats. Everybody wants to talk about the big bat of David Ortiz, who would be the quarterback in this lineup, but everybody has to remember the guy who protects the quarterback, and that, of course, is this guy, Mike Napoli, who bats after him and is on a tear as of late. His 15th double of the season there in the first inning, 5 for his last 9 since coming back from the All-Star break.
Had yesterday off and right back in there again tonight with a double in the second inning. Came around to score the Red Sox first run, as there is strike one to Napoli.
You know, he's played a lot of the season hurt too with that finger. That finger still taped together, as you can see on the back.
Foul tipped, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Power against power right here. Fastball to Napoli. Fastball swing, but no contact. After the changeup.
Down and in with it, 2-2. Napoli now the 5-game hitting streak thanks to that double in the second inning, and 7 for his last 15 at the plate. To right center field, and this will get in. The base hit as Ghost quickly over to play it on a hop. Napoli is 2 for 2 in the game. Well, in honor of July being Red Sox Calling All Kids Month, want to see your favorite family video from a game this season? Text keyword on TV to 536-536 and get the link to NESN.com/OnTV to get started.
You know, it's going to be an interesting stat once the season is over with Napoli. How many base hits he picked up with 2 strikes to center field or to right field instead of striking out?
I bet you a lot more than last year.
Yes.
Nava single in his first at bat. Came around to score the second Red Sox run. Napoli now at 23 2-hit games. As Nava takes strike 2. Nava's really been very good since coming back up on June the 2nd from Pawtucket. 3rd major league stint of the year. Down and in, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Stephen Drew waiting on deck. Already chipped in with an RBI single. He'll skip in 2-2. Nava to center field. It'll get there. Heading to second is Napoli, stopping at second base. Rasmus gets it back in, and Nava is 2 for 2.
Now we talked about Daniel Nava and our open tonight, and he hasn't disappointed. 2 for 2 in the ball game. His first hit came on a fastball. This comes on a changeup, and it's right toward the end of the bat. It's going to just get over the head of Jose Reyes, the shortstop. Good charge put on by Colby Rasmus. That's going to hold Napoli at second base.
10th 2-hit game of the year for Nava, first and second, with 2 outs in the inning, and now Stephen Drew and an RBI single in the second. Drives one to right field. Back goes towards the wall. At the wall. That ball is gone. 3-run home run for Stephen Drew. Red Sox jumping out to the 5-0 lead. All this coming with 2 outs in the 3rd inning.
Now Stephen Drew's already had a great night. 2 for 2 with 4 RBIs. And also appeared to be a changeup that time. It was a changeup to Nava and a changeup there to Drew that he stays back nicely on and finds distance with the home run.
3rd home run of the year for Drew, and contributing offensively tonight as the Red Sox jump out to the 5-0 advantage. Xander Bogaerts winning on a 1-1 pitch. And he'll send one to center field, and this will get in for a base hit. So Bogaerts had lined out to third base first time up, had nothing to show for it. Now he's got himself a base hit.
Yeah, you know the nice thing about it, Don, is both of those at bats were on breaking balls. So the line drive out was hit hard. That was on a breaking ball. This is a breaking ball, and he picks up the base hit to center field. Now that's a pitch that just a couple of weeks ago he was not able to handle.
So 2 down, Bogaerts at first base, and Jackie Bradley Jr. coming up. Action again in the pen. Brad Mills up again for the Blue Jays. Taken off at first is Bogaerts. Bradley swings away and fouls it off.
Now you got to give him a strike right there. You know, you can run on Hutchinson, and there's a case, just a young player's mistake. Take a strike, give him a chance to steal and get in scoring position. He had a great jump at first base.
Ball and a strike now to Bradley. Reached on a fielder's choice and stole a base of his own in the 2nd inning. Bogaerts starts and stops as Bradley fouls it off. He's down 1-2. The Sox clearly feel they can run on Hutchinson tonight.
Yeah, he is very, very slow to home plate. I think you're looking at a guy that's probably somewhere around 1.5.
Bogaerts taken off, and Bradley lines one into right field. Bogarts will keep on going as Ghost goes over to play. Little bobble out there. Bogarts going to try and score. Throw goes to second wildly, and the run will score. Red Sox take a 6-0 lead. Jackie Bradley Jr. with a liner down the right field line ends up at second base. Throw goes there. And it is Bogarts coming in, and the Red Sox lead it 6-0.
Now that's a very poor play right there by Anthony Ghost for a couple of reasons. First of all, he bobbles the ball, and then he throws to the wrong base. You get to Xander Bogaerts, who comes all the way around and scores on this from first base. Bogaerts has no idea where the ball is, but he shouldn't be stopping because there's 2 outs anyway. But look, when Ghost gets the ball, he's got a chance to throw him out at home.
John Gibbons coming out here to get Hutchinson. Hutchinson get the first 2 outs of this inning. Pedroia and Ortiz to foul out and to pop out. But then he gives up 5 consecutive hits, 4 more runs. And the Red Sox have jumped out to a 6-0 advantage. The pitching change from Toronto. All good so far for the Sox. The 2 2/3 inning so far, charged with 6 runs. Red Sox have a 6-0 advantage as with 2 outs and a runner at second. New pitcher on for Toronto. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by your local New England Ford dealers. And it is Brad Mills appearing in his 4th game, 1-1 with a 4.41 earned run average. Well, it's inning at 292 against Mills. Red Sox faced him when he was a member of the Oakland A's, kind of filling up the rotation, filling in the rotation for the Oakland A's on the last West Coast trip for the Red Sox, now picked up by the Blue Jays. And it is Christian Vazquez with the runner at second base. And 2 down. Vazquez reaching on the infield hit, picked up an RBI in the 2nd inning. And he takes strike 1. In the air to left field. Melky Cabrera moving back a few steps. Shy of the track, will pull it in and end the inning. Well, the Red Sox with a 4-run 3rd inning, including a 3-run home run by Stephen Drew, lead it 6-0. hits so far in this ball game as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Stephen Drew with a 3-run home run, all part of a 4-run third, and there's Eric Kratz, the Blue Jays catcher, leading it off and taking strike one. Kratz hitting at just 192 coming in, 3 homers and 10 runs batted in. A line for Drew Hutchison, 2 2/3, 9 hits, 6 runs, and walk anybody, struck out 2. It was after a 1-2-3 first inning on 10 pitches. Blue Jays fresh shot, taking 2 out of 3 from the Texas Rangers. This one fouled back, still 0-2. Blue Jays starting tonight, tied with the Yankees 3 games back of the Orioles in the American League East. There's Toronto at home this year, 27-22. John Gibbons' team on the road, 24-26. Center field, Rally's over towards right center. Now he's going to head back. He's going to get over his head and one hop the wall. Rally Jr. getting it back in, but it is a stand-up double for Eric Kratz and the first hit of the night for Toronto.
Now that breaks up an 0 for 14 for Kratz. Red Sox expecting him to go to the opposite field. Instead, he goes to pretty much straightaway center field with this one, and Jackie Bradley Jr. can't catch up to it. So Kratz has now faced Rocky 3 times. He's 2 for 3 against him with a home run and a double.
So Kratz at second base to get this third inning started. Milwaukee from the stretch now. For the first time tonight as Juan Francisco checks in. Francisco getting the start at third base. He's got 14 home runs on the year. Fouls it off to the left, and it's a ball and a strike. Well, the Red Sox Foundation is partnering with the Center for Advancement of Science and Space and the International Space Station to help educate our youth while using baseball as a backdrop. Only 6 days left until the World Series ring raffle drawing. Fans who add the promo code CASSIS, that's CASIS, when ordering tickets will be eligible to win a VIP trip to NASA, an authentic space mission flown CASSIS patch. Go to redsox.com/ring raffle to get your tickets today. Kratz at second base. Juan Francisco, the count of 1-2.
You can read me the next chat the next inning. Wow.
Now Lackey going back and forth with Vasquez. About Vasquez getting used to the pitching staff as time goes on here as they get acquainted. He's catching them during spring training at times, but much different situation here at the major league level for the first time. Lackey wants to talk to him now. First time they've had to deal with the runner at second base and go to the other side.
Now, Lucky's got one thing in mind, Vasquez another, and Lucky telling Vasquez right now, this is what I want to throw. No sign needed.
To left. Nava going back. This is struck well. It's over his head and one off the wall. Kratz coming around to score. Throw goes to second base, and safe there is Francisco with an RBI double. Jays are on the board. It's now 6-1. So Rocky made the decision, and apparently the wrong decision there as it turned out.
Yeah, he wanted to go back to the fastball, and he does go to the fastball into the opposite field. Goes Francisco. Picks up his 35th RBI of the season and puts the Blue Jays on the board. That ball really no chance for Narver at all. Quickly over his head, right at contact.
Runner at second, still nobody out to run in. Anthony Ghost, the batter. He's swinging at the first pitch and fouling it back. A 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Lackey. 242 hitter. Homers and 6 runs batted in. Called up on July the 12th from Buffalo, making this his 5th stint with Toronto this year.
Boy, 5 times up and down between the minor leagues. I mean, you got to look every day when you come in the clubhouse and hope you don't get a call to the manager's office.
You don't even want to see John Gibbons.
No, you don't want to see him at all.
On the ground, right side. Pedroia will go to first for the out as Francisco takes third base. Well, Thursday on Bruins Summer Face-Off Live, Billy Jaffe and Andy Brickley have all the latest news on the trade market for the Bruins. Take a look at the big stories in the NHL. Get to know Bruins first-round pick David Pastrnak. Catch all that and more Thursday at 4:30. One out, Francisco at third base, and Jose Reyes gets his second at bat. Chops it foul outside of first. Is flying out to Brock Holt in right field back in the first inning. He's hitting safely in 11 of his last 12 games. 324 overall in July. There's Francisco at third base with one down. And a grounder back to Lackey. Looks the runner back and secures the out at first base. 2 down.
Back and third base, probably the only 2 places that Francisco would not be able to score on a ground ball. Red Sox obviously are back in this situation with the exception of Bogaerts at third base. And the ground ball back to Lackey, checks the runner, makes the out at first. Now 1 out away of getting out of the inning.
Yunori Kawasaki coming up here for the Blue Jays. Grounded out to first base, and Mike Napoli in the first inning. So he takes strike 1 at the bottom of the zone. And an 8-game hitting streak coming into tonight's game, and wildly swings at that. 0-2.
Yeah, gets the cut fastball that time from Lackey and the no contact swing.
Kawasaki hitting at .318 here at the Rogers Center so far this year. Struggles in this category. Right on the hands and grounded back to Lackey. He'll flip underhanded and gets out of it. Any further damage gives up a run at 6-1 Boston. 6-1 Red Sox on top of the Blue Jays. We head to the top half of the fourth inning, and the top of the Red Sox order, Brock Holt to lead it off. One member of the Red Sox not too bad in the third inning. Holt 0 for 2 so far in the ball game tonight, as he takes strike one. Brad Mills back on the mound again for the Jays. When Mills faced the Red Sox starting in Oakland, he went 4 innings, giving it 3 runs, 2 earned in that outing against Boston. And was picked up off waivers by the Blue Jays, exposed by the Oakland A's, and had a no decision in that outing through 94 pitches. Back on that last road trip to the West Coast for Boston. This out towards left center field for Brock Holt, and this ball's going to get down for the track in the wall as Holt heads for second base, and he will pull it up there as he rounds second, and a leadoff double, his first hit of the night. From technologies that make your life easier to people who care about your community, Eastern Bank is committed to putting you first. Learn all the ways Eastern puts you first at easternbank.com. Brock Holt with a double to begin things here in the fourth inning.
That now gives him a 7-game hitting streak at the leadoff position for the Red Sox.
Pedroia looking for his first hit of the night. Red Sox have 10 as he takes ball 1. Red Sox have 10 hits, and Pedroia and Ortiz do not have any of them. Dustin has popped the short, fouled out to the second baseman. Ortiz has struck out and flied out to center. David, of course, waiting on deck. All the runs the Red Sox have to this point charged to the Blue Jays starter, Drew Hutchison, who lasted just 2 2/3 innings. Gives up a career high 6 runs. Off balance swing, badly fooled there was Pedroia.
A breaking ball that time from Mills to pick up the swing and miss from Dustin. Over the top curveball.
Swing and a miss, and Pedroia goes down chasing. A strikeout from Mills, first out of the fourth inning.
Now a lot of off-speed stuff to Dustin, and that at that. A curveball followed by the changeup to pick up the strikeout. A high changeup, but the off-speed fooled Pedroia.
One down here in the fourth inning for Big Papi, who has struck out tonight swinging and flied out to center field 0 for 2. It's jammed and fouls it back in on the hands. The numbers have been very good here for David over the years. 33 home runs at the Rogers Center. Ranked second all time among visitors. Alex Rodriguez, only one who has more home runs here as a visitor. A-Rod with 36 home runs here in Toronto. Only park that David has more home runs in, of course, Fenway Park, 182. At home. Kawasaki ducking back to short right. They leave Reyes on the left side of the infield, just to the left side, as Ortiz asks for time, backs out. .50 total home runs in his career against Toronto. Hits it to center field well. Rasmus going back at the wall. That ball is gone. A 2-run home run for David Ortiz, his 21st of the year. The Red Sox take an 8-1 lead. His 34th home run here at the Rogers Center.
Now, right on cue, we showed you the numbers for David Ortiz against Toronto in his career, and it continues. A straightaway blast into the hitter's backdrop in center field. The balance on this swing by Ortiz. That the fall back after contact. And a good look at it here, straightaway center field. Rasmus running out of real estate.
Now Mike Napoli taking strike one. Napoli's had a good night, 2 for 2. Now David Ortiz tying Carl Yastrzemski with 452 home runs with that home run. Gotta feel good for David. Been struggling lately. We mentioned the struggles in the series against Kansas City. Takes extra BP today here early this afternoon. Comes out and hits his 21st home run of the year. There is strike 3 to Napoli, and the second strikeout for Mills. 2 down. Well, Alltown, New England's premier convenience retailer, is committed to supporting the communities they serve. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to the Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Foundation. Visit www.cfmsfund.org for more information. 2 down, bases empty, and Daniel Nava, the batter. And is 2 for 2 in the game. He has singled twice to center and has scored twice. And a good start to a very important stretch for the Red Sox. Winning 7 of their last 8 games, but it doesn't mean much unless they do damage here against the American League East teams that they face here coming up over the next couple weeks. And an 8-1 lead here in game 1 against Toronto.
And that looks like Mills' best pitch right there. That over-the-top curveball that he throws. He's thrown a couple of them. He got Pedroia to swing and miss at one, and now Daniel Nava.
The upcoming schedule for the Red Sox: you got the 4 here in Toronto, then 3 in Tampa Bay. Turn home to take on the Blue Jays and the Yankees coming to Fenway Park, which got the trade deadline mixed in. And then it's to St. Louis, Los Angeles, and Cincinnati as part of that West Coast trip coming up for the Red Sox. The only team they didn't take on the first time they were out there were the Angels, and have a chance to face them at the end of the month. And a 2-pitch, actually, beginning of August as it works out. They continue to roll along. That trade deadline is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it really is. You know, you get up there, you stop leapfrogging a team, and so.
Nava strikes out off balance. A 2-run home run for David Ortiz. Red Sox have an 8-1 lead. 8-1. Red Sox have the lead over the Blue Jays, out hitting the Jays 11-2. As John Lackey gave up a run in the third inning after retiring the first 6 Toronto Blue Jays he faced in the game. About to go into the wide when Cabrera backed out. Cabrera lining out to Daniel Nava in left field in the first inning. To left again, and Nava again. Very similar liner to left, and Cabrera 0 for 2. Easter Bagno Small Business keeps our economy and community strong. That's how they've been named the #1 SBA lender in Massachusetts 5 years in a row. Easter Bank, here you're first. One out in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Jose Bautista the batter. Bautista flying out to center field, and Jackie Bradley Jr. in the 2nd inning. Big swing and a miss there at a high fastball at 93, letter high.
Yeah, Bautista really chasing one that was well out of the strike zone there. That almost neck high.
About it, but it's outside, and it's 2-2. Bautista has walked 65 times on the year. On the ground this time, the deep short picked on the backhand by Drew. The throw in plenty of time. Good strong throw from Stephen Drew. Send it down to Gary.
Guys, back to David Ortiz. He's getting kind of good at calling his shots. Before the game, I walked to the dugout from the clubhouse with Ortiz, and he told me, man, it feels pretty good to be back in Toronto. I asked him why, and he said, you'll see. You'll see. And, guys, I think we just saw home run 34 at Rogers Center.
Ortiz with his 21st home run of the year. Red Sox out to an 8-1 lead. And Kobe Rasmus grounded out to first base in the 2nd inning. Five in a row now retired by Lackey. Against Rasmus, the Red Sox into a shift on the right side. Rasmus fouls it off. The Liverpool Football Club returns to Boston to face AS Roma this Wednesday, July the 23rd for Buick Football at Fenway. The match will feature 2 of the most prominent clubs in Europe. Tickets are on sale now. Go to redsox.com/football at Fenway to get your tickets today. Rasmus down 1-2. Lackey giving up back-to-back hits, both doubles in the 3rd inning, and the only run that he has allowed so far is to see the shift. Swing and a miss, and Lackey picks up his first strikeout of the night. A 1-2-3 4th inning, an 8-1 Red Sox lead. 8-1, Red Sox have the lead over the Blue Jays. We enter the 5th inning, and Stephen Drew, who's already had a very good night, going to face Brad Mills. Back on the mound here for the Blue Jays. As Drew drives one down the right field line towards the pole, but it is headed foul. Good drive there, but foul. He straightened one out earlier. A 3-run home run, his 3rd home run of the year. This one was off Hutchison and just over the wall. The 328 marker in right field. And it's part of a 4-run 3rd inning for the Red Sox. And prior to that, he had an RBI single, so it's been a 4 RBI night. The offense starting to pick up here for Drew after there's been always solid defense from him at shortstop, and continues to play a very good shortstop, steady-handed. Mills, who has been starting this year, a goal while here for John Gibbons. Started lasted just 2 2/3. And Drew Hutchison. On the ground, foul outside of first base. Well, tonight's suits are designed by Joseph Abood, now available at Men's Warehouse. Nesson is proud to support the Men's Warehouse National Suit Drive in July. Make a donation of your gently used professional clothing at Men's Warehouse location to give unemployed men and women a chance to look their best as they re-enter the workforce. To learn more, please visit nationalsuitdrive.com. There's ball 3, full count. He's giving up 2 runs of his own in the 4th inning. And the 2-run home run by David Ortiz. Ball 4, down to first base goes Drew. The 3rd time Steven has been on base tonight. First walk given up by Blue Jays pitching in the game.
And they kept trying to go inside with the fastball to tie up Stephen Drew, and kept missing inside.
So lead runner on for the Red Sox. And Xander Bogaerts hit the ball hard twice, lined out to third, and then singled in the 3rd inning, 1 for 2. Held on by Dan Johnson at first base. And Bogaerts shoots it through the right side into right field, a base hit. Stephen Drew will stop at second base, goes firing it back in, and it gets away. It'll be backed up by the pitcher. Fortunately, get through 2 Blue Jays before getting to Mills and further advance, but that's the 2nd hit of the night for Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah, it's a real good sign tonight for Bogaerts in 3 at-bats. The contact that he's made tonight has been against a breaking ball. A slider for a line drive out, a slider for a base hit, and a curveball that he stays back on and goes to the opposite field on. So 3 very good at bats for Bogaerts in this game tonight.
21 2-hit games for Bogaerts. Runners at first and second, nobody out. And here's Jackie Bradley. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning, had an RBI double in the 3rd inning. Also a stolen base tonight. Does he appear closer to you from his batting stance to home plate than he has been in the past?
No, I actually think he's opened up more, Don. I think that back foot is on the line, close to the line, but he's actually opened up his front foot even more than he originally did.
I'm talking about the proximity, though, to the plate. Seems like he is closer to the plate. Or am I imagining things?
I think it's because of the opening stance.
On the ground, it hits the bag and heads down the right field line. Stephen Drew coming around from second base. He'll score. The second goes Jackie Bradley Jr. and the Red Sox up their lead at 9-1.
Now this is getting some production from the bottom of the lineup, is it not? Drew with on base 3 times. Bogarts with a couple of hits. Bradley now picks up his second hit and his second RBI tonight to get him 28 on the season. Right off the first base bag. Johnson had it lined up for a diving play, but then it bounced off the bag and up over his glove.
Second and third, a run in. Still nobody out in the inning, and Christian Vasquez getting his third at bat of the night. He is single, flied out to left, driven in a run. Six for 15 so far. And he fouls this off. The catcher, Kratz. This may be our first Sox culture for Christian Vasquez. Their food, beans and rice. Puerto Rico's favorite vacation destination. Music box. Favorite phone app. Could be a physical therapist if he wasn't a baseball player. Back to Mills, who knocks it down. The throw to first coming from third is Bogarts. Throw will be late. Xander Bogaerts gets in with the Red Sox 10th run. Mills with a bobble. Bogarts did not break dead. He waited for him to throw to first, and then he comes home, and the Red Sox lead it 10-1.
Very good base running there by Bogarts at third base. Very patient. You'll see him come down the line on contact. He'll wait till the pitcher turns and throws to first base, and then he's off. See him creep down the line right there once that ball gets by the pitcher, and then once the pitcher throws, he's off and doesn't even have to slide. Bogarts having a good night. A lot of Red Sox having a good night.
Now Brock Holt, who doubled his last time up and scored. 1 for 3 night for leadoff hitter for the Red Sox. Batting with Jackie Bradley at second base. And 1 out here in the top half of the 5th. Well, hits the ball twice, but of course in the box. Red Sox coming into this game 2-4 on the year against the Blue Jays. Getting this 4-game series off to a good start. Boston on top 10-1, out hitting the Blue Jays 13-2. 40th pitch since Mills has been in the game, and that'll miss outside. Lackey has given up just 2 hits through the first 4, and he's had a lot of waiting to do in between innings, but not mind at all. His offense put together a pretty good attack. On the ground up the middle and into center field, a base hit. Bradley will be waved around. Rasmus will not throw, and the Red Sox take an 11-1 lead. Second hit, first RBI of the night for Brock Holt.
I've said it many times, but I mean, I just love the way Brock Holt hangs in there against left-handed pitching. There is no give in that front shoulder. He does not open up too soon. His head is nice and steady. He attacks him just like he's attacking a right-handed pitcher. And the results have been very good for him. Right back up the middle for the base hit. Drives in another run. His 23rd of the season.
And Pete Walker, the pitching coach, back out there again. Do you know the signs of a stroke? The Stroke Center at Beth Israel Deaconess, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, reminds you fast treatment can save lives. Learn the symptoms at bidmc.org/stroke symptoms. Well, Mills taking one here for the team for the Blue Jays as he came in after the starter was chased after 2 2/3 innings. And so far he has given up 5 additional runs.
Yeah, nobody throwing down in that bullpen either for Toronto.
Pedroia is so far not part of the fun. Remember the starting 9 not to have a base hit in this game. He's 0 for 3. Only one out here in the 5th. Holt held on at first base by Dan Johnson. There's a strike, 2-1. David Ortiz waiting on deck. He had his 21st home run of the year back in the 4th inning, a 2-run shot. This is laced foul. Pedroia out ahead.
The snack vendor got hit in the back, I think, with that baseball. But he looks to be okay.
In the dirt. Blocked again by Kratz. No advance at first base by Holt.
You feel bad for a guy like that. You'd buy some snacks off him now, wouldn't you?
I think that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah,
but he
get the penny snacks.
Cheering for him. And how about you buy some snacks from him now?
This guy's going deep into his wallet. Oh, never mind. I don't have anything.
Pedroia to center, and Kobe Rasmus drifting back. Shy of the track, pulls it in for the second out. Kind of a mock cheer goes up here at the Rogers Center. Second out of this 5th inning. Well, did you know the Green Monster is 37 feet 2 inches tall? Log on to NESN.com/Nexium 24-hour to register for the Nexium 24-hour Green Monster ticket giveaway. This is your chance to win 4 tickets to an upcoming game and find out what it's like to watch a game from the Green Monster seats, courtesy of Nexium 24-hour. 2 down here in the 5th inning, and David Ortiz, the batter. He has struck out, flied out, hit a 2-run home run. Takes strike 1. Just called up today. Rob Rasmussen is warming in the pen. Sergio Santos was sent out by the Blue Jays before the game. Outside for ball 2. It's now 50 pitches for Brad Mills since taking over in the 3rd inning. Ortiz fouling it off down the right field line.
It's funny how sometimes you come out and you take extra batting practice, and I said David Ortiz very seldom does that. And you take it with a few things. You know, then all of a sudden something might pop in that you say, wait a minute, I haven't been doing that for a while. And all of a sudden, you know, you start hitting the ball well during batting practice. If it carries over to a game, you found something.
Drives it to right field, sending Anthony Ghost back onto the track at the wall, and that ball's gone. Big Papi's gone deep twice tonight, and the Red Red Sox take a 13-1 lead. A thumping going on here tonight in Toronto.
It's amazing to me how some players, and David Ortiz being one of them, just loves to play here in Toronto. I mean, there are certain ballparks for guys that things just go well, and they go very well for David Ortiz. There's that curveball that time it rolled up to home plate, and Ortiz gets enough of it for a home run into the Red Sox bullpen. Nice effort by Ghost, but can't come up with it.
Now Mike Napoli will take strike one. 13 runs, 15 hits, 2 home runs for David Ortiz. Also a home run tonight for Stephen Drew. Well, Alltown, New England's premier convenience retailer, is committed to supporting the communities they serve. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to the Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Foundation. Visit www.cfmsfund.org for more information. Napoli has doubled, singled, and struck out. Red Sox have not had too many of these.
No, that's for darn sure.
Napoli gets just a piece. So now the reliever in Mills has given up more than the starter did. Mills has been charged with 7. Hutchinson was charged with 6. There's 13 run attack so far, and the Red Sox not yet out of the 5th inning. Very high. Napoli drives it to left field. Cabrera going back, turns and looks, and that'll leave. Mike Napoli with his 12th home run of the year. 4th home run of the night for the Red Sox in a 14-1 lead.
Mills is probably wondering, when are you going to get me out of here? I mean, nothing he's throwing right now is fooling any Red Sox hitter.
Well, the answer is now. John Gibbons starting his way out there. Rasmussen has been warming in the pen, and we'll see the 3rd Toronto Blue Jays pitcher of the night. This game after 2 innings of work, 7 hits, 8 runs, a walk, and 3 Ks. 59 total pitches in relief, and it is a 14-1 Red Sox lead with 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th inning. Like Napoli most recently homering. Also a home run in this inning for David Ortiz, his 2nd of the night. He's called up today. Rod Rasmussen back with the Blue Jays again, his 8th appearance now. 6.00 earned run average, 217 opponent batting average. All from Buffalo, 3rd stint of the year with the Blue Jays this season. He gets it by Nava at 0-2. Nava 2 for 3 tonight, 2 singles, scored 2 runs. Rasmussen appearing in 25 games with Buffalo this year at a 2.61 earned run average. Losing International League hitters hitting at 193. Foul off to the right.
Not much harder thrower right here on Rasmussen than what we saw around at Mills. 94 on that last fastball.
This is the most runs the Red Sox have scored in any game this year. The previous high 11 they scored in Houston right before the break. Nava grounds it foul. Do it again. 0-2. But now Stephen Drew waiting on deck. He got this inning started with a walk. He would come around to score. Foul tipped into the bench for strike 3. The end of the inning. A 6-run inning for the Red Sox. Lead at 14-1. Bottom of the 5th inning, 14-1. Red Sox have the lead over the Blue Jays. Dan Johnson leading it off here against John Lackey. He's given up 2 hits and a run through the first 4 innings. Johnson pops it a foul, back it out of play. It's been some kind of attack tonight by the Red Sox offense. 14 runs, 16 hits. In the dirt, and it's a ball and 2 strikes to Dan Johnson.
And if you're John Lackey, you have to keep the mindset that you're in a close ball game. That's the way you have to attack these games.
Driven to right. Well, back goes Holt. Leaps in. Brock Holt in right field makes the catch. Are you kidding me? Brock Holt can do it all.
Oh, my goodness. this line drive. This ball's hit very hard. Holt going back, goes into the lead, makes the catch, crashes into the wall, holds onto the baseball. I mean, what more can this guy do?
At any position.
At any position you put him in.
Well, one down here in the 5th inning. And Eric Kratz.
Hear the contact up against the wall from Brock Holt.
That's scoring the only Blue Jays run tonight in the 3rd inning after he doubled to open up the 3rd. Now pop up, foul ground. Vasquez discards the mask, has a play, and makes it 2 down. Well, tomorrow on NESN Live, presented by Cross Insurance, Sarah Davis and El Duncan will bring you the live coverage from Rogers Center. Preview the Liverpool match live from Fenway Park and look ahead to Patriots training camp. That's tomorrow at 5:30 on NESN. Two down here in the 5th inning, and it brings up Juan Francisco. Doubled to drive in the Jays run in the 3rd inning. 35th RBI of the year.
Jim Pud Galvin, 300-game winner.
In the air to the left. Nava started back, now comes in. And Lackey enjoys a 1-2-3 inning. A little help from Brock Holt in right field on a nice catch. It's all Sox tonight. Lead over the Blue Jays. And Stephen Drew, who led it off in the 5th inning, a 6-run inning, now leads it off here in the 6th inning. And drives one to right. Anthony Gose is there and makes the catch. First down here in the 6th inning as Drew is retired this time. Some defensive changes for the Blue Jays. Minori Kawasaki moving from second base to short as Jose Reyes comes out of the game. And Steve Tollefson checks in at second base. A lopsided score. John Gibbons getting Reyes some innings off of this game. Here's Xander Bogaerts, a 2-hit night so far, both singles, 2 for 3. We'll take strike one. Rasmussen on the mound here as you get the final out of the 5th inning, first out of the 6th inning. Tries to log some innings here and get some outs. So as not to really ruin the bullpen here in game 1 of the 4-game series.
Yeah, a game like this, Don, the first game of the series can ruin for the whole series.
The type of game where you may have a chance of seeing a position player at some point. Rounded foul. Managers certainly like to stay away from that type of scenario. There's Bradley Jr. waiting on deck. Sox batting here in the top half of the 6th inning. The lunging third baseman Juan Francisco, and Xander Bogaerts has a 3-hit night.
All 3 hits for Bogaerts coming on off-speed pitches. 2 curveballs, that time the changeup. So that means he's staying back very well. He might have been a little bit out in front of that, but the hand stayed back and pulled it by the third baseman Francisco for the base hit. So he's had 4 very good at-bats tonight.
One out base runner for Boston, Jackie Bradley, the batter. Bradley reaching on a fielder's choice, has doubled twice in the game. Two and 0. Rasmussen, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Blue Jays. Drew Hutchinson in 2 2/3 gave up 6 runs. Brad Mills, 2 innings, 8 runs. Rasmussen made his major league debut earlier this season at Fenway for the Blue Jays. There's a strike in there, and it's now 3-1. And his 3rd stint of the year with Toronto. Bradley carves it foul, full count. Well, tomorrow on the Red Sox Report, we'll learn about the life and times of Dave Booth Ferris. Back-to-back 20-game winner whose 25 victories in 1946 helped the Red Sox capture their only pennant during Ted Williams' big league career. Don't miss the Red Sox Report Tuesday at 5 p.m. Swing and a foul tip held onto by Kratz. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Rasmussen. And there are 2 outs here in the 6th inning. With some offensive numbers we have not seen in some games this year. In fact, the most runs we've seen. And the most hits. 4 home runs, most in a game this year. 2 for Big Papi, 1 for Mike Napoli, and 1 for Stephen Drew. All part of this 14-1 lead.
Now that's pleasant to look at, is it?
Yes, it is. Beginning this big trip for the Red Sox. There's Christian Vasquez. He takes strike 1. Singled in the 2nd. Since then, it's fly to left, grounded back to the mound.
Got a lot of pressure on me right now because we have to do this hit for NST, and I don't know who to focus in on.
You're thinking about that already?
Yeah.
You got a lot of baseball before you have to worry about the NST hit. You get.
Yeah, but it's always on my mind.
You're only in the 6th inning with 2 outs.
I know.
We haven't even done the head nods yet.
No, I know.
We got plenty of time.
No, but it bothers me. I kind of go through the game thinking, this is going to be it, or this might be it. Well, I got a lot of options.
I'm going to give you an idea. I think you should focus on the offense.
Yeah, I think so. Very good.
I think that's where I would start the conversation.
Now, that's a big help.
Because generally I'm the one that starts the conversation, and then I hand it off to you, and you got to fill up the whole segment. So I would start by saying something like, well, tonight the Red Sox got this big trip off on the right foot. Red Sox, a huge offensive night tonight, Jerry.
And then I got to come up with something.
Right, you got to say some stuff. You got to fill it up.
So I gotta like think of do I do one player? Do I do two players? I don't know. I don't know.
I grab two or three.
Really? What about Lackey? Look at that job he's done.
Very good. Outstanding.
Yeah.
To first base. Johnson will take it to the bag. And we're closer to that NST hit now. We're 5.5 through, and it's 14-1. 14-1. Red Sox have the lead over the Blue Jays, out hitting the Jays 17-2. Anthony Gose leading it off here for the Jays and taking strike one. Changes for the Red Sox. Nava moving from left to right, with Johnny Gomes taking over in left field. And moving in from right field to second base is Brock Holt. The one pitch is in there for strike two. So Brock made a great catch. Right field, not coming back into the infield. Pedroia the remainder of the night off, and Dustin will be shaking his head a little bit. 0 for 4 in this game tonight. Not part of this attack.
Now there's always somebody, There's always somebody. You look at games like this, and I guarantee you go through that box score and you'll find somebody that takes an 0 for in the game.
Swing and a miss, and Gose strikes out. Second strikeout for John Lackey. What good has he done tonight?
I talked about it last inning. I mean, from a pitcher's point of view, you're so tickled to have the runs that you have, but you got to go out and perform like it's a 1-0 ball game. And that's the mindset you have to keep, and that's what Lackey's done in this game tonight.
Unique Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. Fly ball to right field. Nava moving over. 2 down. Tollison in his first at bat flies out. 2 down. Taking over for Jose Reyes in the batting order, and took over at second base. 2 down, and here comes Kawasaki. Shifted from second to short. 0 for 2 in the game. Grounded out to first in the first, back to the mound in the third. Strike one. To center field, that blue. Bradley coming in full bore to make the catch on the run. A 1-2-3 6th inning for Lackey, a 14-1 lead for Boston.
The Red Sox with a 14-1 advantage in the top of the 7th inning, guys, and Brock Holt at the plate. Already a multi-hit game, and we saw the play that he made in the outfield, only leading the majors in hits since his call-up in mid-May. You would think he feels secure about being a part of the Boston Red Sox, and he finally has. He was telling me he and his wife finally rented an apartment in Boston. He was making the trek from Pawtucket to Fenway Park for the longest time, but he finally got an apartment, signed a 3-month lease, so he's an official resident of Boston, and I'm pretty sure, guys, he's going to be able to stay a while.
Yeah, things are looking up.
I'd say that's a pretty secure move to go ahead and get yourself a place in Boston the way he's played. And it's tough on those guys that go back and forth from from AAA to the big leagues. They usually keep their places down at the AAA level.
Holt fouls it off. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation for their work with the Jimmy Fund. All of us know we must cure cancer, especially the cruelest of them all, children's cancer. We thank the good people at Hood for helping the Red Sox Foundation and the Jimmy Fund in their efforts to cure childhood cancer. Holt down 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Rasmussen able to strike out Holt for the first out of the 7th inning. His 3rd K since coming in.
Yeah, throws that slider down and away from Brock Holt, and that's one of the few times you'll see him take an awkward swing against a left-hander.
Well, Dustin Pedroia now on the bench after coming out of the game. 1-for-4 in the ball game tonight, so Gomes batting in his spot after taking over in left field. First at bat for Johnny of the night. He'll take strike one at the top of the zone. Gomes thought it was too high. ball missing outside. 1-1. Darren Mastriani has taken over in left field for the Blue Jays. Melky Cabrera comes out of the game. Mastriani will be leading it off in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Blue Jays. Series of changes in this game for both sides. Holmes rips it foul. David Ortiz waiting on deck. Already a 2-home run night for Big Papi. In the air to deep center field. Rasmus going back to the warning track. At the wall, makes the catch. Jumped there right up against the walls. Gomes is on number 2. Loud out, 2 down.
Yeah, looked like it had a chance when it left the bat at Johnny Gomes, but Rasmus going right back to the wall in center field to make the catch. I'm talking to John Gibbons before the game today. You were, I was, Rob Bradford, and you asked him about how the ball travels and what's the difference between the roof being open and closed, and he says, you really can't tell. He says early in the season when it's been closed all winter, it seems like the ball travels well in here. And he says, but he doesn't notice a difference whether it's closed or open during the season.
Also talking about these condominiums that have popped up all the way around the Rogers Center. I mean, there are tons here now over the last 5-6 years.
They think they may have affected the wind currents around here. They're all over the place downtown Toronto.
Unbelievable. Who's in all these condos?
I have no idea. We're in a condo right here.
Yes, we are. The 0-1. So on the ground, shift is on right side. And it's Francisco, third baseman, who throws out David Ortiz. 7th inning stretch. 14-1 Boston. Everything to keep your office running smoothly, like Swing Lines Fusion Laminators, a super fast, super easy way to laminate and protect your best work. Order yours today from who but WB Mason.
I travel with a laminator.
You have one with you?
Yeah.
Did you get it from WB Mason?
Absolutely.
And Mastriani leading it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Took over in left field for Melky Cabrera. On the ground to short. Drew gobbles it up. 1 down in the 7th inning.
Isn't a laminator like when if you make something, Let's say a sheet of paper like this.
Yes.
But you make it into a
Clear plastic.
Then you put a laminated finish on it, I believe.
Yes.
Is that
And
right?
it protects what you have inside.
But
Right.
yeah, it does.
So like if you were to take your scorecard,
Right.
put it and laminate it, then it's totally protected.
Right.
And it's clear. Everybody needs one of those. So that's why you travel yours.
Absolutely.
Now, where do you do the laminating?
When I get back to my room.
Okay, so tonight you'll be laminating your card.
Yeah, I'll be laminating my card.
Right here.
Famous scorecards.
This is in the air, hit well to deep right center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. Look out. As he comes together with Nava out there, but it's Nava who makes the catch just shy of the track. Batista going the other way, but he's out number 2.
Bradley Jr. covered so much ground out there that, he feels he can make any play at all, but that was a much easier play for Daniel Nava right there. Bradley calling for it, but Nava puts his hand up in front of him and takes it away from him.
Two down here in the 7th inning. Jays have not had a hit since the 3rd inning. And a grounder foul. "13 in a row retired by John Lackey." This ticket pitching line for Lackey. 1 run in 6 2/3. Very economical with the pitch count as well. At a 7-pitch 6th inning. Rasmus fouling it off to the left out of play. Bobby Rasmus has grounded out to first base, struck out swinging, 0 for 2 tonight. Todd Redmond warming in the pen for the Jays. Swing and a miss, and Lackey picks up his 3rd strikeout of the night. He's retired 14 in a row. It's 14-1 Red Sox. Pulling a doubleheader at the office, WB Mason's wide selection of Green Mountain Coffee K-Cup packs would keep you running and guarantees to satisfy any fan base. Order by 11:30 a.m. and get free same-day delivery. Who but WB Mason? We head to the top half of the 8th inning. 14-1. Red Sox on top. Mike Napoli, first batter that Todd Redmond will face as the Blue Jays bring on their 4th pitcher of the game. Napoli with 3 hits tonight and a ground ball left side cut off by Francisco. Plants and throws for out number 1 of the inning. Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway. All the 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Treat yourself or someone special. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Todd Redmond coming into the game, his 28th appearance of the year, 1-4, the 2.50 earned run average. Well, it's hitting at 261 against the right-hander. Took over for Rasmussen, who did a pretty good job. 2 1/3, giving up 1 hit, no runs, and struck out 3 and really quieted the Red Sox bats after Boston scored 6 times against the starter Hutchison and 8 times against reliever Brad Mills. Look out, as dancing out of the way is Nava.
Well, we checked off another thing on our bucket list between innings. We taped our stare that they use on NST and the head nod and the double. You know, we're kind of together in that shot. That everybody's in the box.
It has been taken care of.
So that's done.
So you don't have to worry about that anymore. On the left field line will make its way foul.
See, it's really one of the toughest things of the night. I'm just going to stare into the camera for 30 seconds.
You see that? I look very right there. It's like someone asked me a question and I'm pondering it. Yes.
Yeah, very good.
Yes. Look at you. Yeah, you did it right there too.
Yeah, and I looked down at the pitcher. There was a new pitcher coming in. I looked down. I made a mistake there.
Now, I think we've gotten really good at that. You know, I've seen.
That's probably our best part of our show.
This is cut off by Francisco, and it's not in time. Nava beat it out for his 3rd hit of the night. It's time for a Toyota game break, and Tom Caron, TC. All right, Tom, thanks very much. Back here in Toronto, where Xfinity brings us the game summary. Where do we begin? David Ortiz will start there. 2 home runs in the game tonight. Stephen Drew with a home run. Napoli is also homered, part of a 14-run, 18-hit attack. One out infield hit for Nava, his 3rd hit of the night. This one fouled off. I think when we started doing the head nods, we were really bad.
It takes a while. There's a little bit of acting involved.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
It takes a while to get used to the concept of just staring into a camera and not doing much. You know, you get a little nod once in a while. Once in a while, a little smile.
Oh, you smile? I never smile.
Occasionally.
You do?
Occasionally, yes.
Swing and a miss, and Drew strikes out. That is his 2nd out here in the 8th.
Fastball by Drew upstairs. Redmond a sinker ball pitches, so you're a little surprised when you get one above the belt like that. Nope, that all becomes part of a big collage of people staring. It's like the Brady Bunch. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
They had people all over in boxes and stuff. And it's quite a when they put it together is amazing.
Two down in the inning. But not held on at first base. On to Xander Bogaerts. Guys, have you done your stare yet, or is this what's happening right now? Oh, he's doing it. Oh, no, he's not doing it right now. Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
that was terrific. See, I don't do that. I just,
No, you don't.
I don't do very much.
You don't do anything.
Maybe after all this time, I thought I was really good at this. Maybe I'm not.
Maybe you're not.
Maybe I
see. He's got it down pretty good.
He looks interested.
Yeah.
Attentive.
Little smile now.
Little smile. Oh, now he gets serious. Like it is. No. Left side to short. Kawasaki to second to end the inning and the staring. 7.5 done. It's 14-1. Red Sox on top. Photo of the game. Tweet your photo to #NESSANFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in our broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. Tonight's fan photo is from Laura, whose picture is of a young fan eating his first Fenway Frank. Looks good as we head along here to the bottom of the 8th. Red Sox on top 14-1. Let's send it down to Gary.
Guys, kind of a rarity what we're seeing on the mound. Felix Doubront making his first in-game appearance in over 2 weeks. July 7th was the last time he pitched in a game against Chicago. We really haven't seen him very much in the last 2 months. Just 4 appearances between June and July since he's been relegated to that bullpen. Talking to John Farrell today, he was saying, really, the starting rotation has done such a good job of going deep into games. John Lackey, for example, going through 7 innings. They haven't really had the opportunity to pitch Felix Doubront. Plus, there's 2 other lefties in there that he's trying to get time for, Craig Breslow and Andrew Miller. So this right here, seeing Felix, kind of a rarity, guys.
And here to face Dan Johnson to begin things here in the bottom of the 8th. And John Lackey just terrific in tonight's game. Finishes up his outing by retiring the last 14 batters he faced. Only allowing 2 hits in his 7 innings and 1 run. And Johnson 0 for 2. He's popped out to second, flied out to the warning track in right. And he strikes out Johnson. 1 down here in the 8th.
Yeah, Doubront not fooling around. 3 pitches to pick up the first out here in the 8th inning. Throws the fastball by. Dan Johnson. Well, he showed him a fastball, curveball, fastball in that at bat.
1 down for Eric Kratz. 1 for 2. A double in the 3rd. Fouled out in the 5th. Pops it up, sending Napoli into foul ground. And he puts it away for out number 2 of the inning. Well, hey, Duncan fans, want to enter for the chance to win tickets to the coolest events of the summer? Go to wickedddcoolperks.com to learn more. That's WickedDD Cool Perks with 2 Ds. No purchase necessary. Must be a Master New Hampshire resident and 18 years or older. It ends on August the 31st. 2 down here in the 8th for Juan Francisco. Driven in the only Blue Jays run in this game. Back in the 3rd inning when John Lackey gave up back-to-back doubles. First to Eric Kratz and then to Juan Francisco. Another strike and it's 0-2. DeGrom's coming in throwing strikes tonight. Six pitches, 6 strikes, 2 outs. And a swing and a miss. Strikes out 2 here in the 8th inning. Nicely done. Lost his necklace in the process. 14-1. (14-1). Red Sox have the lead over the Blue Jays. Top half of the 9th, and Jackie Bradley Jr. leading it off. Has 2 hits, 2 RBIs on the night. Scored a run. Todd Redmond back on the mound for the Jays. Well, tune in tonight after our Red Sox coverage to NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Jamison and Leah will have part 4 of their Patriots camp countdown and the preview Liverpool's AS Roma match at Fenway Park. See what know-how can do. Sharply hit, nicely picked. All right, Dan Johnson races to the bag. He robs Bradley of his 3rd hit of the night. 1 down here in the 9th. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by the new Scion TC and Sullivan Tire and Auto Repair. One out in the 9th inning.
And what a nice play at first base by Johnson. I mean, that should have been Jackie Bradley's 3rd hit of the ball game, but Johnson makes a fine play on it. At least a double for Bradley.
And Christian Vasquez batting with 1 out here in the 9th inning. Adam Lind on the DL. Kind of a strange story. had fouled a pitch off his foot, as we see that play again. Nicely picked by Johnson. But Lynn fouled a pitch off his foot, and they had it x-rayed and didn't find a fracture, but he played on it, was hurt for like 2.5 weeks. And then his mother, believe it or not, said, you know, you really should get an MRI on that. So they did an MRI, and sure enough, there was a fracture in there, and he finds his way onto the DL. So mom knows best.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it is a little surprising they didn't do an MRI previous to that.
On the ground, shot left side. Juan Francisco on the run and in time in his second out of the ninth. It's time for the list. That's Sports Trophy. I don't think there's any contest here.
You think it's the Stanley Cup?
Yes, I do. And nothing to take away from the World Series trophy. It's a great trophy. We've seen 3 of them in our time here. But to me, there is nothing like the Stanley Cup. I think it's great when the players, after winning the Stanley Cup, have a day with the cup. They get to bring it home.
Okay, dumb question of the night.
Yep.
It's been around so long.
Right.
There are so many names on it.
Yes.
What do they do when they can't put any more names on it?
They take names off.
They take them off
the early years.
From the early years, would they put them in the Hall of Fame or something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they take off parts of it, and then the bottom ring, when it fills up, gets taken off. And the newer guys come up on top.
Okay. Great tradition.
It's unbelievable. If only the cup could talk. The cup has been to some pretty good parties over the years.
Yeah. It's been around a little bit. It's been around the block.
Well, they keep it so nice. When it's all polished up and they bring it out.
Look at that guy with the white hair that travels with it.
That's his job.
Yeah, that's his job. What do you do? I take care of the Stanley Cup.
White gloves. The poll question tonight was tied into the Stanley Cup, and committee ends running away with the vote tonight. Two pitch to Holt, who has 2 hits tonight, and a grounder foul.
2 hits and a fabulous play out in right field against that wall.
In the air to left field. Mastriani started back. Now he's going to come in, and he'll slide to make the catch. Recovered after a bad jump there. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's 14-1 Red Sox. Jake Peavy, last 3 starts 0-2 with a 2.84 earned run average. Jay Happ, last 3 starts 0-1 with a 8.25 ERA. It's a closer look brought to you by FW Web. For an even closer look, visit FWWeb.com. That's 14-1. Red Sox fans enjoying this game tonight in Toronto, out hitting the Blue Jays 18-2. Third Boston pitcher of the night, Craig Breslow, into his 35th game of the year, 2-2 with a 5.18 earned run average. As many walks as strikeouts, which has been strange for Breslow. And opponents hitting at 286 against Craig. Billy Gibran, outstanding 8th inning, strikes out 2 and has a 1-2-3 8th after a long layoff for the Red Sox lefty. Anthony Gose leading it off here for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 9th. 0 for 2 in the game tonight. He's grounded out and struck out. Breslow's first appearance after the break. Last appeared on the 11th of July at Houston. Back at him, nicely picked by Breslow. Throws out Gose for the first out of the bottom of the 9th. But don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings live right after the game. The guys will break down John Lackey's very good start tonight and have John Farrell's post-game comments. Can't go wrong if you buy right at WB Mason. 1 out in the 9th. Top of the order, Steve Tollefson getting his second at bat of the night. Took over defensively at second base back in the 6th inning. Fly to right. There's only a bat. Balance swing there, and it's 1-2.
There are a couple of guys you see in the game. Breslow right now, and of course Gibran, who have not had work since the All-Star break, and trying to get them an inning in a blowout game.
Yeah, Lackey in his 7 innings only threw 76 pitches.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they were once they fell behind, they were swinging early against John.
Night for David Ortiz, 2 home runs in the game. Ball 3, full count out of Tollefson. Tollefson on the ground and through into left field, a base hit. That's the 3rd hit of the night for the Blue Jays, and their first hit since back in the 3rd inning. That's 18 in a row. Retired by Red Sox pitching until Tollefson gets that base hit. Well, don't miss. Red Sox first pitch presented by Men's Warehouse, proudly introducing Joseph Aboud. PC and Steve Lyons will have the latest news and rumors leading up to the trade deadline. That's tomorrow at 6 p.m. on NESN. 1 out, 1 on. Minori Kawasaki 0 for 3 in the game. Sliced foul, and it's 1-1. Jake Peavy getting the start here tomorrow night, 1-8. He's not had a victory since April the 25th. They're going to snap that stretch. This run scored tonight by the Red Sox since September 25th against the Colorado Rockies. They won 15-5 at Colorado last year, September the 25th. Two pitch coming to Kawasaki. 1 out, 1 on here in the ninth. There is strike 3. Kawasaki strikes out, 2 down.
The breaking ball that time from Breslow to pick up the strikeout. Second out here in the ninth inning. And cut fastball that time. Pretty nasty, down and away from the left-handed hitter. Kawasaki, very popular player here in Toronto.
2 down. Tolleson at first base. Darren Mastriani takes strike 1. Grounded out to short in the 7th inning, and his only at bat of the night. Took over defensively in left field for Melky Cabrera. Oh, 2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. That's the ball game. Red Sox win. And a big way tonight to get terrific pitching. Great offense in this game. And a big night for Big Papi David Ortiz, who has 2 of the 4 Red Sox home runs in the game as Boston routs the Blue Jays tonight 14-1, out hitting them 18-3 and making John Lackey the Red Sox first 11-game winner of the year. We send it to Tom Caron.